It's not possible. I didn't say it would be easy, Neo.
All right, good morning. Committee on Parole is reconvening. We're in Jackson Parish on Thursday, April 25th, 2024. It's 11:05 a.m. My name is Cheryl Renatza, serving as chairman of the panel today. Seated to my left is Mrs. Stapleton. To my right is Mr. Freeman. I think are y'all on mute? Officer, would you introduce yourself for the record? Yeah. Are y'all connected to audio? You see a microphone somewhere on there? No, it's still not on. If you have the microphone, you need to click on the microphone to unmute it.
Yes, ma'am. There you go.
Yes, ma'am. All right, let me ask the officer to introduce himself for the record. Sir?
Deputy Brian.
Thank you, sir.
Jackson Parish Jail.
Yes, sir. Thank you for accommodating us today. And we have Mr. Drummond.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
My name is Aaron Drummond, DOC number 487541.
All right. Let me read some information into the record, sir. And I'm going to read your most up-to-date master prison record. You sent us some information questioning your time. We checked it, and so there's been some changes. So, Mr. Drummond, you're classified as a 5th felony offender. You're currently serving a 10-year sentence as a habitual offender for distribution of cocaine. So your parole eligibility date is March the 15th of 2023. You knew that. That didn't change. You don't earn good time. And this is your adjusted full-term date, May 27, 2029. Does that sound right to you?
No, ma'am.
Because I think it was initially 2032.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's been adjusted to 2029.
3 years.
So I'm just telling you, you'll get a copy of the new master prison record. And if you have any questions, then you take that up with DOC.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So your case has been assigned to Mr. Freeman. Would you answer his question?
Okay, Mr. Drummond, how old are you?
37. Sorry.
And how long have you been in jail on this charge?
Going on 6 years.
Okay. And what's your educational level?
I completed 10th grade and I came to jail and I got a GED.
Good. Good. Okay. All right, tell me, why you selling drugs? I mean, you got a long history.
Just support my family and I have a couple of kids. I work every night, on and off, but to support my family, basically.
All right. What do you say to the victims out there? I know it's a drug offense, but I mean, there's people out there you were selling to that got hooked on cocaine, and who knows, some of them may have died with the stuff they selling these days. I mean, what do you have to say to them?
I like to say to the victims who I also anything to that if I could take back what I did, I would, because I know I was poisoning those folks, and I never do that. And I kind of like learned my lessons from the things that I've done, and I took classes and I learned my lesson.
All right. You have 2 children, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do they come visit you?
Well, where I'm at right now, we do on-screen visits, so I get a visit probably once a day.
Okay, well, good. Once a day is a lot. Okay. What have you done inside to prepare yourself for release? What classes you took?
Parenting, cage or age, thanking for a change, Like I said, I got my GD, uh, NAAA. I did a lot of classes since I've been incarcerated.
Um, what have you done to prepare you for your release besides those classes? What have you adjusted in your life to where you're gonna go back out there and you're not gonna sell drugs?
Well, it's a class called Cage of Rage, and the class teach you not only Cage of Rage, it's another class, but the Cage of Rage class teach you your basic information on how to get jobs, how to keep jobs, and how not to go back and sell drugs. And I completed 100 hours of that. My mind just made up. I don't have no time to be going standing selling no drugs. I'm kind of prepared to go get me a job and take care of my family.
Okay. Um, what is gonna be your sobriety plan if you get out?
Sir,
Your sobriety plan, if you get out, how you gonna keep yourself from being on drugs?
I really want to continue the NAAA classes because I kind of learned a lot. So if I could continue that in the free world, I think it'd keep me on my feet.
Uh, Mr. Drummond, it concerns me, your criminal record and your supervision record. You got a juvenile record, looks like it dates back to when you were 13 years old. You have 5 or so adult revocations. I saw 1 juvenile revocation. And the biggest thing I saw, and I want you to explain this to me, what happened to reentry court? That's a good program we got. What you did? How did you mess that up?
Okay, well, when I went to reentry, COVID was just starting off and it was heavy. So a lot of things, a lot of classes, nothing wasn't really moving. And it was a lot of things going on in that goal. And I ended up getting sick. So when I got sick bad and I couldn't eat and I was throwing up and things like that. So I was drug tested because they thought I was intoxicated. So I was drug tested and twice, and I passed both screens, but I was still kicked out of the program. And when I was kicked out of the program, uh I had wrote the guy who over the program to see why I was the reason why I was getting kicked out of the program, and they never gave me a reason. They only said that I had an intoxication write up. But when I presume my the paperwork saying that I beat both write ups, I still was kicked out of the program. So I completed all right. Well, Angola shipped me from Angola to Rayburn, and I ended up completing my time. But I was kind of surprised that Jefferson Parish didn't bring me back to the Paris to bail me. So I end up doing the rest of my time. Was my release date February 23rd last year. So when I was released, Jefferson Parish came got me on my release date, and the next day I was bailed.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Okay. Well, tell me about this disciplinary record. What were your 3 contrabands in 2022?
Uh, Probably cigarettes. Well, they sell dip. They sell school on the store. I was in Rayburn, and it's not allowed to be smoked. It's not allowed to be dried out and smoked. And I just kept on. I smoked cigarettes, and I just kept on drying it out and smoking it, and I kept on getting caught. It wasn't nothing, no, it wasn't major. It wasn't no drugs, and then it was just cigarettes, and it's not allowed to be dried out.
Okay. What about the write-up you got in 2022 on number 11? What was that about? A fight with injury?
Yeah, a fight. I had a fight with a guy, and it was involved. A lock was involved. I was hit with a lock a few times, and I kicked the guy off me, and it's a weapon. If you don't use your fist, you use anything besides your fist, it's considered as a aggravated fight. So I was wrote up for number 11.
Okay. And I have no further question.
When was your last write-up, Mr. Drummond?
Probably the end of 22, before my release. I was released from Rayburn February 23rd or 23. So it had to be maybe 22 December or November of 22.
How long you been where you're at now in Jackson Parish?
Maybe 8 months, 9 months.
No write-ups?
No, ma'am.
That's good. I see, let me ask the officer there. Sir, is there anything you can add or tell us about Mr. Drummond?
No, I'm in transportation, but as far as I know, hadn't had no problems here.
All right, good. Thank you, sir. And we've, Mr. Drummond, we've had the DA's office from Jefferson has joined us, and I'm gonna ask you to make a statement if you'd like. Tell us what you'd like us to know before I turn it over to the DA's office to close it out for us. What would you like us to know?
I want to apologize for being kicked out the Ranger program because it's a great program, and I was planning on getting me a trade. I just apologize for getting kicked out of that, first of all. And the 6 years that I've been incarcerated, I've learned a lot. I grew up a lot. I matured a lot. And I just want to put this behind me and get on with my life and raise my kids. I'm not coming back to no jail or doing nothing illegal to come back to jail. I just want to go live my life as a New Orleans citizen.
All right. Well, Mr. Meyer, could we hear from the DA's office?
Good morning, Randy Meyer, Assistant DA in Jefferson Parish. And, we're strongly opposed to Mr. Drummond's request for parole. We think that note that the trial court judge who sentenced Mr. Drummond is strongly opposed because he was kicked out of the reentry program. He was given a significant opportunity there to get a trade and do something positive with his life, to be able to get out of jail and get a job, and he squandered that. I think granting him parole at this point would send the wrong message to not only him, but other inmates, that we don't have to follow this and do what we need to do in the reentry program in order to get out early. And then if we look at specifically with Mr. Drummond, it's very extensive criminal record, both as a juvenile, as an adult. He's got a moderate risk assessment with a moderate substance abuse and no long-term substance abuse treatment at all that I can see. He said he's been attending NA and AA classes, and I think that's important for him, but I think some real treatment would be appropriate. But then we'd also have to look at his disciplinary report, and that is really bad. He's had 23 reports, 23 disciplinary reports from 2020 to 2023. I don't know that I've seen a guy in 20 years that had that many in that short a time period. 10 of those were contraband. And he's lost, I think, about 320 days of good time as a result of his disciplinary report. While he's been under supervision, he's been in the past, out of about 10 times he's been on supervision, he's been revoked about 7 times. I think Mr. Drummond has not shown that he is prepared to get out and live a crime-free life. I think he needs significant more programming, including substance abuse, and we're opposed at this time until he takes some positive actions to show he's ready. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Freeman, are you ready to vote?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Drummond, it's right. I think you need more programming too. I think you need a long-term substance abuse plan, which I will recommend that they try to get you into one of our long-term substance abuse treatments in DOC. If they'll find a spot for you, and your disciplinary record, I mean, as he stated, Mr. Myers stated, is very, very, very poor and very concerning, and you kind of play things down, but I mean, you know that smoking tobacco is bad, but yet you kept doing it, because you like to smoke. I mean, that's things that you got to change in life. A lot of things we like that we can't do. So my vote is to deny.
Mrs. Stapleton?
I agree with Mr. Freeman for the same reasons.
And, Mr. Drummond, you did get some good news today. My vote is to deny also. I'm concerned about your disciplinary record. I am, pleased and encouraged to see that you hadn't had a write-up since October. It was October of 2022. That was your last one. And so something's clicking with you, I think. I think it's starting to click, and I'm glad to hear it. I do agree. I think you need some substance abuse treatment. I'd love to see you have some job skills training too. So we'll make that recommendation, but today is not your date, at least for parole. But we gave you a couple of years on your full term date, and we're going to try to see if we can get you moved somewhere where you can get some programs. So next time you appear before the board, you'll be more ready. Good luck to you, sir. What's that?
When when is my next parole date? Like how it work?
We're going to send you a letter that's going to give you that information. You'll have to apply for another parole date. We're going to send you a letter. It's going to have all that information in it.
Okay,
Okay.
One more question.
Okay, be
Like
quick.
the jail that I'm in, it have 0 classes, 0 programs.
No,
So
I know. That's why we're going to make the recommendation that you be moved somewhere that has them.
okay, thank you.